Hello all, welcome back to Career with Vasanth YouTube channel. My name is Vasanth. I hope you all doing well. So this is a video series where we're discussing about DSA problem. Without wasting further time, let's get started. So in this particular video, I'm solving a very important interviewer's favorite interview question, that is Pascal's triangle. What is Pascal's triangle? Given an integer number of rows, return the first number of Pascal triangle. This is a question statement. But Pascal's triangle, where each number is the sum of the two numbers directly above it. Okay. Just for the better understanding, I've taken a diagram where any given row, it is actually the sum of directly which is above them, two rows above them. Like 6 is a combination of 3 plus 3, 15 is a combination of this, 35 is a combination of this two. Okay, or 10 is a combination of 6 plus 4. For any given row, the sum is produced by the two particular columns above them. Okay. So Pascal's triangle, each number is the sum of the two numbers directly above it as it is shown. Like for example, if you consider each of this as row, so this particular column sum is actually something that is combination of the columns above them. Okay. What is the problem? Given the number of rows, like in this case 5, you should run all the combination of the numbers like 1, 1, comma 1, 1, comma 2, comma 1. This complete thing is a multi-dimensional array. This is a two-dimensional array. Correct? So now if you are somebody who is from a front-end developer background and you never solved DSA problems like Pascal's triangles are not very easy to solve. If you're somebody who's always solving the problem, that is easy. But if you're somebody who's looking at the Pascal's triangle for the first time, it's not so easy to solve because all you are given is number of rows. So number of rows is the only thing that you are given. Like for example, 5. And with that, you need to actually generate this complete thing. Correct? So it's not so easy to for you. So I'm going to tell you step by step how to approach this problem. And if you're seeing me for the first time on the internet, like I already told, my name is Vasanth. Please subscribe to my channel, Career with Vasanth. Like the video and comment whatever you're feeling so far. What the lot of content about front-end interview preparation, please watch and support. So now the problem is we only know the row and we need to populate this entire Pascal's triangle. And before I start explaining the solution, actually Pascal's triangle is used in a lot of probability theory. So whenever you solve such problems, also do know where it is actually getting used. Okay. Now, let's say I have to generate this one and this one. For the easy understanding sake, let's go to this column. 4 is actually sum of 1 plus 3. 6 is sum of 3 plus 3. 4 is sum of again 3 plus 1, 1. So the problem for what we are facing is there are like one, two, three, four columns. Here we have five columns. From four columns, we need to generate the five columns. Or if you go to here, oh, there's only one. From one, we need to generate two things. That's where the problem comes in. What we can do instead is, let's say I add two more columns. I make this as 0 and this also as 0. Okay. So in that case, the sum of these two will produce this, sum of these two will produce this. For a better understanding, I'm going to put the 0 here. Okay. I'm going to add, let's say this is a column, right? So I'm adding two more values. Or if you consider this an array, I'm adding one value at the end and one value at the end. One value in the beginning and one value at the end. So 0 plus 1 becomes 1, 1 plus 4 becomes 5, 6, 10, 10, 4 plus 1, 5, 1 plus 0 is 1. So this is how it is easiest to solve. So there is nothing much to solve if you took this approach. All you do is you take up each row, you unshift it, add a 0, you push a value 0. All you have to do is just keep adding them. Like 0 plus 1, like I plus 1 index, if you add, the next row gets generated. It's very easy. The only catch with this approach is unshifting. So as you know, if you have to insert an element in the beginning of the array in JavaScript, you need to unshift it. Whenever you unshift, the problem is you thinking you're adding one value in the beginning of the array, but indirectly you're pushing all the values in the array to the next index, correct? So when the tree becomes bigger and bigger, this will have a performance implication, correct? Pushing a value is still fine. This is still fine, but this is something that is a problematic. But this one approach which you can solve with this particular approach very easily. Now let's take a look at a slightly extension of this solution itself, which is much more capable of solving the problem, much more efficient. For example, any given column if you have to generate, right? So this will be combination of the previous columns or any particular column in a row you have to generate. It is going to be combination of previous rows, two columns above them, correct? Let's think about the same approach that we discussed. Whenever there is no previous column, whenever there is no previous column, let's imagine that as a 0. Okay. For example, let's take this as ith row and this is jth row. Now, let's say I initialize ith row as 1. The very first, we cannot, to start a process, let's consider this as the first value of, and in the array is just 1. Now I have to calculate the jth row. Jth row I can calculate by taking the value of any, for example, the zero. The jth row, zeroth column can be computed as a sum of ith row, correct? Ith row, j minus 1 and j. So here you can understand better. So if I name it like this is 0, 1, 2, 3. This is 0, 1, and 2. So this 1 is a sum of 0 plus 1. This 2 is a sum of 1 plus 2. So whatever the j index, that index and the minus of that. For 3, this is where the problem comes. Because 3, you have 3 minus 2, but this doesn't exist. For 0, you have jth column is there, but j minus 1 is not there. Same applies here. Here jth column is not there. J minus 1 column is there. All you have to do is whenever that value do not exist, just return 0. That's what we did in the last approach of unshifting. Here, that particular unshifting we are not doing, we're just returning the 0. Okay. Let's solve the problem. For the overall duration point of view, this section I'm going to fast forward and I'm going to explain the solution once I read complete the solution. Okay. So my solution got submitted. I did a couple of silly mistakes. I again last video also I made a small mistake. I insist you guys do not make it. I in a rush to make complete the video quickly. I'm gonna do. I might have made that, but you guys don't make it. So once I have to complete the things, just go and cross check everything one more time. So now the solution is very simple. The very first I initialize output array with just one value. That is just one. And next, if number of rows is one, so I would immediately return this only. I don't have to do further processing. If not, then I'm going to tell the number of rows, how many ever rows, and I is 1. Why I is 1? Because 0th row is already done. So I'm starting from 1. So then j is 0. So j basically we are generating this row now. J is 0, j less than I plus 1. Because any given row will be a combination of like whatever the row we I will be, that plus one number of elements is going to be there in every particular row. So for j is equal to 0, j less than I plus 1 and j plus plus output of I minus 1. Same way explained you. I minus 1 means 0. Correct? So this row is actually a combination of I minus 1. The previous rows, j minus 1 and j. All you have to remember is just these two lines. Output of I minus 1, j minus 1, and output of I minus 1 and j. If they're not there, just return 0. That's all we are doing. And push it to the temporary array. Because why you have to push it to the temporary array? Because this complete row has to be populated. Correct? Like first you generate 1, then you generate 2, then you generate 1. So this becomes one array. Correct? Once this array is generated, then you push it to the output. Finally, you return the output. So if you have to see the way of execution, you can just log the temp. Okay, I run it. So you see, first it was 1 and 1, the first row. Next it is 1 to 1, the second row. Next it is third row, 1 3 3 1. Next it is 1 4 6 4 1, the last row. And once after every row is generated, and before I go to the next row, actually pushing it to the output array. That's all. Okay. I hope you enjoy the video. Like I told, the first solution of unshifting I have not written. If you understood this that particular approach very well, I highly request you to please write that approach and put the code in the comment section. I'll validate your code and let you know whether it's right or not. Okay. Thank you so much for watching. If you like the video, please like it. If you are somebody who's seriously preparing for the DSA, keep subscribed and like the video and comment what more videos I want to bring in, because front end there are very less resources about the DSA. And if you are someone who is preparing for any other front-end developer interview or looking for mock interviews, React basics, JavaScript basics, there's so many series in the channel. All of them I'll put in the description section. Please go ahead and check it out. And I write very actively on LinkedIn and Medium. Do follow me on LinkedIn and Medium. That's all for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Catch you in the next video.